Hello my dears and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Pamela and I put out beauty related videos like once or twice a week. Today's video is going to be on the CATRICE Cosmetics HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. This is a mattifying second skin 24-hour amazingly great foundation. I have heard so many beauty gurus rave about this little guy here, and I don't know what it was about this because I'm not into mattifying foundations, but everybody just seemed to like have such great reviews on it and everybody loved the way that their skin looked, and I'm all about the skin right now. Like, I just want flawless looking skin without it looking heavy or cakey, and this is basically what that's going to do for you. Back of the bottle, it says it's lightweight, non-oily texture that feels like a second skin, provides a long-lasting full coverage without mask effect, and creates an even complexion with high definition finish for camera ready skin. Dermatologically tested, shake well before use, blah blah blah. So I'm really excited to try this out. And actually Ulta has a bomb sale going on right now where you get buy two get one free on all the CATRICE products, so I figured I'd you know, jump on the bandwagon and try it. I will say that because I purchased mine on Ulta, they only had 4 shades, so I picked out the shade Sand Beige. I already know this is going to be too light for me, but I also picked up another tube of the CATRICE Prime and Fine Makeup Transforming Drops in Darkening. This is the greatest thing ever invented. This is the second tube that I've purchased because this has been a game changer for me. And the third product I picked up, since like I said it was buy two get one free, was the CATRICE Liquid Camouflage Concealer. I got mine in the shade Light Beige, which is the darkest one that they make, and again, this is light, like really light. Like, it almost looks like, ooh, pale on the screen. So if you know, if you're very light, you may even consider this because you find it in your shade. So I don't have any more babbling, so let's just get right into this. Yes. So I've already washed and moisturized my face. I'm not going to prime today, only because all of the primers that I have are sort of a mattifying pore filling primer. Since I was using that Revolution Stick foundation, that one is a very hydrating, a very like almost oily, kind of slick foundation. A mattifying primer worked better with that, and since I don't have any hydrating primers for a mattifying foundation, I figured I'm just gonna, you know, apply my moisturizer and see how it goes. Plus, it claims to last 24 hours and it doesn't say anything about having to prime, so I can do whatever I want. So I've got this little tin lid here, and I'm gonna go ahead and shake this up really well, and this is where I'm gonna basically be doing my little science experiment here. So it is a dropper type of foundation. As you can see, it's pretty liquidy, it's about to drip. But I'm just going to go ahead and start with maybe about that much. I really don't know how much I'm going to need, to be honest. I only went in with 2 drops of this. If I need, you know, to adjust, I will. So I just take the back of like any brush, honestly, and I mix it. Okay, that might be pretty good. Yeah, okay, let's just apply this. I'm going to apply half of it with a foundation brush and the other half with a sponge, but I'll be honest, I never use a sponge to apply my foundation, but you know, for review purposes, I figured why not give the people, you know, 2 different options. So my first half of the face, which is going to be on this side, I'm going to go in with a Lexi 532 round top blender, and I'm just going to lightly stipple into that. Sorry, my brush is dirty, but don't judge me. I know yours are dirty too. Ooh, that might look a little bit white. Okay, it's okay. We'll make it work. It has a fragrance, you guys. It smells like baby wipes, and believe me, I know what baby wipes smell like. You know what? It's not unpleasant. Like, some foundations have a really bad like chemically smell. At least this one smells like a freshly opened pack of baby wipes. So the foundation is still a little bit too light, so I'm just gonna take a little bit of the transforming drops and just place a little bit on the side here of my little palette. I'm just gonna take that back of that brush that I've used to mix and sort of just dot a little bit to see if I can get this to match me a little bit better. I'm finding that the transforming drops are almost the same consistency as the foundation, so I'm wondering if it's just the same formula. I didn't even read the ingredients, and I feel like I should have. It still looks too pale. Why? Okay, I'm gonna let it sit for a second just to see if it'll oxidize a bit, but it's still looking just a little bit on the pale side for me, but that's okay. Nothing a little powder and bronzer can't, you know, do. So like I said, on the other side, I will go in with the sponge What I'm gonna do is just take a little bit of that transforming drop and just mix a little bit more in here. Just like I said, it's looking a little bit pale still. That looks a lot closer. So yeah, 3 drops would have been sufficient of the transforming drops or whatever. Take my finger and just dot this all over my face. Maybe a little warmth will help it. And then I'm gonna go in with a sponge. I am gonna pick up just a little bit of the product and go ahead and blend this in. With the sponge, I'm having to like work faster than the brush, and I don't like that. That's why I never go in with the sponge, you guys, to be honest. Like, I never, ever, ever apply my foundation with my sponge, and it is definitely lighter coverage. I feel like it's a little more full coverage on this side than it is on this side. Definitely looks really good. Like, I haven't mentioned as to how it looks on my skin. I'll do a close-up in a minute, but I think I'm gonna take a little bit more of that on a brush and sort of build up in my cheek area here. Gosh, it looks good. Let me zoom you in so that you could see this up close and personal. So look at that. It even, for a mattifying foundation, it looks pretty glowy. It could be, like I said, I used coconut oil to hydrate my skin today because I knew I was going in with a mattifying foundation, and my skin is so dry lately that I didn't need anything to like suck up any excess like oil, but it looks really, really pretty. Super pretty. And as you could see, you could still see my freckles, which I'm okay with that. I like it when you could see my freckles because then you don't feel like you're wearing a, you know, a mask or anything like that, but it looks really, really good. Shade is still very much off. Like, the shade definitely doesn't match, but you know, the foundation is laying on the skin really, really nice. And still a little bit of redness here I could see, but again, things like that don't really bother me. I'm not a full coverage queen, so yeah. But I'm sure you could get this to full coverage. I might actually just try in this area to see if I can cover that up a little bit more. And now that you're zoomed in, let's just go ahead and try that. Yeah, it lays really, really nice on the skin. It almost just like literally looks like second skin. Let's hope this oxidizes a little bit for me today. Even though I know people don't like anything that oxidizes, but looks really good. All right, looks good. So far so good. I just think I need to experiment a little bit more as to, you know, what my darkening and foundation ratio is going to be. I feel like it might need to be like maybe 4 to 5 drops for next time, just to get it a little closer to my skin tone. And once I get it figured out, you know, it'll look so much better. But I'm not upset at the color. I think it looks okay. I think after a little bit of powder and bronzer, I'm gonna look fantastic. The foundation hasn't completely set. It does have a sticky feeling, and I don't like sticky feeling whatsoever, because then I feel like it gets transferred onto everything. But we're gonna go ahead and do our concealer and hope that in a little bit that this will continue to dry down. So I'm just gonna, ooh, this is heavy. Ooh, the scent of this one is, again, it has a very similar baby wipe smell, but this one is a lot stronger than the foundation. Like, very, very strong. So if you're sensitive to smells, I warned you. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out. If I feel like it needs to be a little bit darker, I'm gonna go in with the Ulta Beauty Liquid Concealer. This is in the shade Medium Warm, and that tends to be just a tiny bit too dark for me, so these two might pair really, really well together. Doesn't look too terrible, honestly. Oh, but man, that concealer goes really well with the foundation. It just like blended right in. I mean, they're the same brand, so of course they're going to be good together. Which is good. I think it looks, you know, pretty good. It covered up my dark circles really, really nicely. I can see just a little bit of, you know, a little bit of purple right here, but like I said, I am going to go in with my other concealer just to darken it up just a tiny bit. I am just going to go in with a little bit of my Ulta one here, just because it's a little bit darker, as you could see, than the Catrice one, and I don't like that really highlighted look on the under eyes, so I am going to put that just a little bit lower there. and sort of, you know, buff it in or blend it in or whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and call check-in time 1:22. That is exactly the time that I have finished applying the foundation and the concealer. I'm gonna do the rest of my face makeup, and then I'll show you how everything looks, as well as how everything else, as well as, you know, let you know how everything else applied. So give me a second here, okay? Okay, so here is my makeup all complete, and you know, now that I've laid everything else on top of it, I think the color match is all right, especially since I did add a little bit of transforming drops. I also bronzed the crap out of my face, and I powdered my face with this e.l.f. Finishing powder. It is, you know, a pretty good match for me, so this helped out the color a lot. Everything feels like I'm wearing nothing. Like, it literally feels like I have nothing on my face. I don't feel sticky, but I did powder, like I said. Everything feels really, really good, and it's so lightweight, and yeah, it almost feels like I'm wearing absolutely nothing on the skin. It doesn't look completely matte in my opinion. I think it still does have sort of a little bit of radiance to it, although I am wearing a pretty blinding highlight in my opinion, but the skin looks really, really good. It's not flat, it hasn't cracked or dried or anything. I am gonna insert obviously a very, very good close-up of my skin right now, and I'm really liking it. Sorry, I can't stop staring at myself in the stupid monitor. So I'm gonna go about my day. Like I said, check-in time was 1:30, I'm gonna say, just because that's when I finished applying the foundation and the concealer, and we'll see how everything wears throughout the day. So I will see you guys in a different time, but for you it'll only be like a split second. Okay. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys what it looks like in natural lighting, and I'm actually standing in the balcony right now, so it's as outdoors as it can possibly get, and it looks like it might have oxidized a bit, just because it looked very light on my actual camera. I'm using my phone now, and on my phone it looks like one solid color, so I'm really, really impressed with that. I know that when things oxidize, it's kind of annoying, especially if you find your exact shade, but for me it is a benefit today, since obviously the foundation was way too light for my face. But with the transforming drops, and I think that with my powder and the fact that it's oxidized a little bit, it's looking really, really good. Still looks fantastic. I mean, it's only been 30 minutes, but it still looks like regular skin. I absolutely love that it hasn't made me feel dry or sucked the moisture out of my face or anything like that. So if you go in with moisturizer and like a coconut oil like I did today, it'll work just fine, especially if you have dry skin. So I'm still pretty impressed. Almost just looks like I put on bronzer, blush, and highlight and did this dramatic eye look and called it a day. Like, it literally looks like I'm wearing nothing on my skin, and it also feels like I'm wearing nothing on my skin. So still loving it a lot. Okay guys, so the time is now 8:38, and I'm gonna show you what the foundation looks like. Okay, so it's been 7 hours, and look at how amazing this looks. And like, the only thing I could say is my blush has faded a little bit, but that kind of happens every time. My Ultra Satin lip is still holding up pretty strong, and everything looks really good. It looks really, really good. Look at my chin, how nice and smooth. I do have a little bit of smile lines right here, but that's normal for me. I talk a lot like this, you know, because I have a 2-year-old, so you gotta talk to them like that. And between my eyebrows looks fantastic. Usually I have a little bit of creasing right here or separation in this area, but it's looking really, really good. I'm really impressed. And the concealer, you know, the fact that it has faded a little bit isn't too terrible. Sometimes my concealer will like even separate right here, or it'll turn a different color, but everything looks really, really good. So I'm really impressed. I like this a lot. This is probably like the greatest foundation I think I've used so far. So that says a lot. It really does. So that is all I've got for you guys today. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and spread my love for makeup. And I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.